Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's I'm not your buddy guy here, and I just want to do a quick video. I was kind of slept in today. It's Saturday, and I gotta say, I'm loving my bed. I'm loving my pillow, which is my pillow from Mike Lindell's business. Didn't get it for the politics, just got it to try it out, and I gotta say, it's actually a really good pillow. Combine that with like a regular pillow, and oh my god, it's even way better. Yeah, but regardless, it's a great pillow here. And anyways, I was thinking, you know, so many people have talked about the very fine people, the very fine people. Trump said that, and Biden said it, and he's like, "Oh, he was talking about the racists, the Nazis, the KKK." He said he was talking about them. And you know what? I just want to do a quick video on it, and I'm just gonna provide the first-hand evidence right here. Just play a little clip here, and it's gonna be about 9 minutes long, and you should definitely watch from this. Watch this to the end. You really should. The problem with people today is they just parrot other opinions. They just parrot them. They nobody critically thinks anymore. They hear their favorite YouTube, if it's a younger generation, their favorite YouTuber, the older generation, their favorite news anchor. They just hear them say an opinion, and they literally just parrot it. And see, the problem with this whole parroting issue is that this is something that's instilled in us since kindergarten. We're told to just repeat, to memorize. That's you just basically go through 12 to 16 years of institutionalization of just repeating what other people are saying. That's what you're doing. And it's sad, or more actually, but it's sad. You know, and it impacts a lot of people, and they aren't taught to critically think. So, without further ado, I hope this clip is you're able to get the audio from it. As you can see, it's from the Wall Street Journal, and this is from 3 years ago. This is straight from the Q&A. This is when he first started talking about it, and it's going to have that quote. It's going to have the very fine people quote. But listen to the whole clip. Now, I'm just jumping to 7 minutes and 53 seconds in, because for the first portion, a lot of it's infrastructure, and then talking about, what sort of actions they might be taking. But I want to get to this point because this is when he starts talking about both sides. This is when he starts, actually trying to go in, because the truth is the media lied about a lot of it. They truly are worse than fake news. They truly are worse than fake news. They've done a great disservice, and all they do is they just lie. So, without further ado, let's start the clip here.
It was a horrible day. I will tell you something. I watched those very closely, much more closely than you people watched it. And you had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent. And nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now. You had a group on the other side that came charging in without a permit, and they were very, very violent. Go ahead.
Sir, do you think that what you call the alt-left is the same as neo-Nazis?
Those people, all of those people, excuse me, I've condemned neo-Nazis. I've condemned many different groups, but not all of those people were neo-Nazis, believe me. Not all of those people were white supremacists by any stretch. Those people were also there because they wanted to protest the taking down of a statue, Robert E. Lee. So, excuse me, and you take a look at some of the groups and you see, and you know it if you were honest reporters, which in many cases you're not, But many of those people were there to protest the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. So, this week it's Robert E. Lee. I noticed that Stonewall Jackson's coming down. I wonder, is it George Washington next week, and is it Thomas Jefferson the week after? You know, you really do have to ask yourself, where does it stop? But they were there to protest, excuse me, you take a look the night before, they were there to protest the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. Infrastructure question, go ahead.
Should statues of Robert E. Lee stay up?
I would say that's up to a local town, community, or the federal government, depending on where it is located.
Are you against the Confederacy?
Race relations in America. Do you think things have gotten worse or better since you took office?
I think they've gotten better or the same. Look, they've been frayed for a long time, and you can ask President Obama about that because he makes speeches about it. But I believe that the fact that I brought in, it will be soon, millions of jobs. You see where companies are moving back into our country. I think that's going to have a tremendous positive impact on race relations. We have companies coming back into our country. We have 2 car companies that just announced. We have Foxconn in Wisconsin just announced. We have many companies, I say, pouring back into the country. I think that's going to have a huge positive impact on race relations. You know why? It's jobs. What people want now, they want jobs. They want great jobs with good pay. And when they have that, you watch how race relations will be. And I'll tell you, we're spending a lot of money on the inner cities. We're fixing the inner cities. We're doing far more than anybody's done with respect to the inner cities. It's a priority for me, and it's very important.
Mr. President, are you putting what you're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane?
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, you've just called them the left, that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
On both sides, sir, you said there was hatred, there was violence on both sides.
Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Kill the person. Heather hired them.
They showed up in Charlottesville
Excuse me.
to protest.
Excuse me. They didn't put themselves down as you, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
White nationalists,
Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group also, you had some fine people, but you also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits and with the helmets and with the baseball bats. You had a lot of bad people in the other group too.
Unfairly, sir, I'm sorry. I just didn't understand what you were saying. You were saying the press has treated white nationalists unfairly?
No.
I just didn't understand what you were saying.
No. There were people in that rally, and I looked the night before. If you look, they were people protesting very quietly the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. I'm sure in that group there were some bad ones. The following day, it looked like they had some rough, bad people. Neo-Nazis, white nationalists, whatever you want to call them. But you had a lot of people in that group that were there to innocently protest and very legally protest because, you know, I don't know if you know, They had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit. So I only tell you this. There are two sides to a story. I thought what took place was a horrible moment for our country. A horrible moment. But there are two sides to the country. Does anybody have a final? Does anybody have? You have an infrastructure.
What makes you think you can get an infrastructure bill? You didn't get health care.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, we came very close with health care. Unfortunately, John McCain decided to vote against it at the last minute. You'll have to ask John McCain why he did that. But we came very close to health care. We will end up getting health care, but we'll get the infrastructure. And actually, infrastructure is something that I think will have bipartisan support on. I actually think Democrats will go along with the infrastructure.
President, have you spoken to the family? Have you spoken to the family of the victim of the car
No,
attack?
I'll be reaching out.
When will you be reaching out?
I was I thought that the statement put out, the mother's statement, I thought was a beautiful statement. I was telling you, it was something that I really appreciated. I thought it was terrific, and really under the kind of stress that she's under and the heartache that she's under, I thought putting out that statement to me was really something I won't forget. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you plan to go to Charlottesville, Mr. President?
Do you think you're helping to heal the nation?
I own a house in Charlottesville.
Will you go to
Does anyone know I own a house in Charlottesville?
Where is it?
Oh boy, it's going to be. It's in Charlottesville. You'll see.
Is it near the winery or something?
It is the winery.
Will you go visit to try to...
I mean, I know a lot about Charlottesville. Charlottesville is a great place that's been very badly hurt over the last couple of days. But I own actually one of the largest wineries in the United States. It's in Charlottesville.
What do you think needs to be done to overcome the racial divides?
Well, I really think jobs can have a big impact. I think if we continue to create jobs, over 1 million, substantially more than 1 million, and you see just the other day, the car companies coming in with Fox, Fox. I think if we continue to create jobs at levels that I'm creating jobs, I think that's going to have a tremendous impact, positive impact on race relations.
And what you said today, how do you think that will impact the racial?
Because the people are going to be working, they're going to be making a lot of money, much more money than they ever thought possible.
Your
So
remarks
that's going to
today-
happen. And the other thing, very important, I believe wages will start going up. They haven't gone up for a long time. I believe wages now, because the economy is doing so well with respect to employment and unemployment, I believe wages will start to go up. I think that'll have a tremendously positive impact on race relations.
Why haven't figures been drawn to you, Mr. President?
And there you have it. That was the clip. Glad for those of you who stuck around and have some integrity. Because most people, they just, they'll always complain, and a lot of people are just, that I really think a huge issue in today's society is how people just have such a short attention span. They just want that quick TikTok video. They just want that quick 30-second clip. And it's like, no, you need the context. You need the context of the clip to actually understand the clip. And as you can see, what are 3 takeaways from this video that we just saw? 3 takeaways. The first takeaway, he's right about the jobs. He's right. Providing people opportunity, that's probably one of the best things you could do for any issues that exist within society. People just want to succeed. They want to live good lives. People generally don't want to go out there and commit crime. It's generally the culture and the environment that leads them to that situation. That's one thing that's always bothered me. People just say, "Oh, well, the black inner cities, it's a problem of racism." No, it's not. It's a problem of culture and the fact that there's a lack of opportunity. And him bringing back manufacturing jobs, yeah, that's going to fix that lack of opportunity problem. It's going to give them purpose. It's going to give them meaning. It's going to give them an opportunity to not just build their own wealth in their own livelihoods, but to be able to build a stable life and family. Because that's the real core issue of what's happening, is you're having the destruction of the nuclear family. You're having the outsourcing of opportunity to foreign nations instead of having manufacturing here in our home countries, whether it's Canada or the US. It's just being outsourced to China and other countries. The second takeaway you can have from this video is he did condemn them. He said it right out there. And I'm not talking about the white supremacists, the neo-Nazis, the KKK. I unequivocally condemn them. You heard it. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. He said it. I'm paraphrasing. I might have not exactly quoted him, but you heard it in the video. He said it right straight there. He did. So them saying, he's saying the very fine people were about those white supremacists. He even got a clarification question on it, saying, "Are you sure you're not talking about them?" And he's again reiterated, saying, "No, he's not talking about them." And it just bothers me because that was a great lie that went around. Everyone just repeated it because no one would fact check it. No one had the 9 minutes of their whole, how many, was that, 3 years? That clip's 3 years ago? Let's pause here. 3 years ago. In an entire 3 years, that's 3 years. That's 3 times 365. No one had 9 minutes. And see, that's the real problem of society. They just take everything at face value. They just listen to their favorite YouTuber. They listen to their favorite news anchor, pundit, and just repeat. They're just parrots. It's all people. A lot of people they've just become mindless parrots. And this is why I keep saying, you gotta critically think, man. You gotta start thinking for yourself. Seek out the information yourself. Listen to the actual first-hand accounts. Because this video immediately disproves that. He says it. He unequivocally condemns them. He did. And it bothers me because he did. And people just still seem to believe it. And I don't know. It really saddens me that that just this lie survives 4 years on, because I just got into a little mini argument with someone else, and they were saying, no, he said it. He said it. He was talking about those Nazis. He said they were fine people. You heard the clip yourself. No, he didn't. But, what's that one saying? The lie will get halfway around the world before the truth even straps its boots on. I'm paraphrasing, but I think it's something like that. That's true right here. Still, most people don't even know about that. I don't. But yeah, the main takeaways, like I said, is he's right about the economy. He's right about the jobs, improving race relations. He was right to condemn the Nazis, and he was right. And the final point is that he was right in telling the perspective of there being both sides of the story. There's always multiple sides to a story. Always. And he said the biggest lie that was covered up by the media, because everyone is all focused about the middle point I'm making here of the whole, both sides. But the last point I have is that everyone skipped out on that Antifa got violent first. They started attacking people that were defending these statues. They attacked them. You can see the video footage yourself. You've already seen the proof right here that the media lied about something. Now do yourself a favor, and now that I've given you the first bit of information, now that you've been proven wrong, now do yourself a favor and seek out that first-hand account. Watch the video yourself. Witness it. Don't listen to what other people say about it. Witness it yourself. Because these people are lying to you. They are abusing you. And I don't want people to be abused. We have beautiful minds. We do. We need to use them. And another point that I want to make as well, to tack on to the 3 points here, is that, these statues, you heard what he said. It's Robert E. Lee today. Who's next? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Now that it's it's now what, 4 years later? Well, nearly 4 years, but 3 years later. He was right. Again, whether you like him or not, he was right. They went for these people. Because it wasn't about Robert E. Lee. It's about erasing our history. And this is what I hate most of all. The left, I know I attack the left so much and I criticize them so much, but it's just, they keep doing it. They're trying to erase history. They are. And those who forget history, who erase it, are doomed to repeat it. Now, I'm not going to make this any more of a longer video here. I just woke up and I was thinking about this and wanted people to actually see the video firsthand, to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Trump saying, I unequivocally condemn the racists, the supremacists. He said it. You heard it. And this is that infamous quote. This video, but people didn't have the time to watch the 9 minutes in 3 years. It's sad. So, remember guys and gals, you got to critically think. Always. Don't take everything at face value. Don't listen to your favorite YouTuber. Don't listen to your favorite news anchor or whoever you listen to. Don't take everything at face value that they present to you. Question it. Maybe there's an incentive for them, whether it's money, power. Question it. Use your beautiful mind. So, if you like that video, or if you don't like it, regardless, hit that, subscribe button. And if you can, smash the like button and share the video. And please, people, just try to critically think. Because if there's anything I want from this new series I am doing, if there's anything I want, and just in general, is I want people to start critically thinking for themselves. I want you to seek out the information. I want you to pursue it yourself, to see it with your own eyes, to hear it with your own ears. Because the world is filled with so many lies, so much deception, because they want to control your mind. Because it's short of actually going to war or wiping you out. By having you blindly believe every lie that they spoon feed you. It's what they want. So don't be a puppet. Don't be a fool. Use your beautiful mind. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you think. If you agree, disagree with my analysis on the video. Or even post your thoughts of how, when you first, if this is the very first time you've heard this, or if you heard it before, share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. So, you guys and gals have yourselves a wonderful morning, and have a good one. Cheers.